All right, all right. Welcome back to the Psychic Soul Healer channel. My name is Laura, and I'm going to do a general message for Pisces tonight. Know that energy is fluid, so roles can be reversed. Flip it, switch it, twist it, just interpret the message as it best resonates for you. Never force anything. Take what you need, leave the rest. Okay, if you're new to the channel, anything that you need to know about the channel, you find in the description box. You'll find all important links to Patreon, my website, TV show, anything and anything, and always directions on how to enter into winning a free psychic reading with me. All you got to do is like the video, subscribe to the channel, and write the magic word of the day. Now, the magic word of the day is usually how I kick off the reading. And I always use my Psychic Soul Healer deck. Okay. And if you're interested in purchasing this deck, you can find it in the description box. All right. First card out is the Dark Night of the Soul. So you would write the Dark Night of the Soul in your comment bar. You'll know if I chose you if I wrote the word winner underneath. If I did, you and I would just correspond back on Facebook. Listen to me on YouTube platform. Figure out the best times and days that work for the both of us. All right. Now, Dark Night of the Soul, I'm kind of feeling as if you are connected to someone that is going through a dark night of the soul. This is the underlying energy, and you also might be going through a little bit of a dark night of the soul. Possibly because I'm feeling as if you were very connected to this person on a spiritual level, and they kind of just dropped off the face of the planet. Now, again, this is a past life connection. And so, hey, Ishka, what's going on? How you doing tonight? So glad you're here so late. I'm hanging in there. It's hot. Tonight was my husband's birthday, so I'm jumping on real late tonight, and I just wanted to do a message for y'all. You can ask me whatever questions you want in the chat, and I will get to them after the message. Okay. Now, again, I'm feeling Pisces, and again, this message is going to be for anyone who lands on it that resonates with it, because that's really how spiritual energy works. However, it was intended for Pisces, and so yeah, and so I'm feeling you're connected to a person that's going through a dark night of the soul, and you too are kind of going through a dark night of the soul yourself, but for different reasons. But there's a past life connection between you and this person. So I always look at the spiritual energies first, because we're going to look and see what your person, what their plans are, what they've done in the past, what their wounds are. And that allows us to integrate. See, what I'm telling you, it never fails. Spiritual energy works like a magnet to who is supposed to hear the message, right? I mean, it never fails, never fails. Okay. So were you in a past life connection with somebody that just kind of fell off the face of the planet? Isn't talking to you, because we know that you're a Pisces. That was not planned, by the way. All right. And maliciousness. There again, there's the energy of before they left, they didn't really give you anything, but there's a past life connection where you could feel that there was a very strong connection. You knew that this person was not your average everyday person that you just had a crush on. This is a past life. Now, past life relationships tell us a lot, because a past life is someone that you knew in another lifetime, that you dated or you were in some sort of relationship with, and there were a lot of lessons that you didn't really learn, and now you came back into this life, and what this shows is that the person didn't learn either. See, yes, there was for the last 1.5 years, and you just dropped the connection. You dropped the connection, but you dropped the connection because the person wasn't really giving anything. So they kind of dropped off too, is what I'm feeling. I'm feeling like they knew that this was a strong connection, but they didn't treat it with the honor and the respect that they should. That's again, and now they're going through a dark night of the soul because a lot of things in their life are collapsing, and that is the energy that's there. I want to look at the wounds just because whenever you have a connection that just drops off and we say, why did that happen? Well, let's look at what the past life uh, connection was, because you knew this person in a past life, and that's going to let us look and see what the actual wounds are, and then we'll be able to see how you triggered them. Yes, that's what I'm telling you. That's what the cards say. The past life connection is again, but they didn't treat you with honor, like they didn't learn the spiritual lesson. So we always want to look and see what the connection was, who they were in a past life, who you were in a past life, because that's going to tell us what the wounds really are. Okay, so let's just ask and see, Spirit, tell us who this person was in a past life. And they were an orphan. So they were probably really afraid of commitment. Like the orphans never had love from a mother or father, right? So there's always a little sense of not feeling good enough, lovable a lot of times and that's not because of any other reason except for we never had the experience of knowing what a mom or dad was in those very, very early years. Because we're in transition, sometimes we're being adopted, sometimes we're in an orphanage, sometimes, and if it was a past life, most likely we were in an orphanage because it's not as, modernized today, how a lot of people give their children up for adoption and they go to an orphanage and sometimes they go to, but even so, orphans have wounds, and the wounds of are abandonment, not good enough. So we can see why they would act malicious, right? If a person's not coming from their true sense of self because they don't like who they are, they're not going to treat you very well. So we want to just see again what the past life energies were and how we were supposed to really learn from them. Okay, and then see finances. Finances are an issue. So I'm also feeling like in a past life, you two were together and there wasn't really a lot of money, that there were, and I feel like that's something that you struggled with. So you look for somebody that's going to have their act together financially, and I feel like it scares this person. And really what you're asking for is that this person is true to themselves, that they find themselves. A root chakra imbalance is what happens when we're an orphan, right? So what happens is a lot of times if we don't have a good sense of self, money has no energy except the energy we give it. So we're looking at the past life energies and the finances were there. So, and this also triggers your wound, Pisces. All right, knighthood and not really feeling good enough. Okay, so we looked at this person's energies because that's what I'm saying. He would be obsessed with finances, but he wouldn't be aware of why he is obsessed with finances. And so understand, if his finances were not at a level that he perceived were good enough, then he doesn't feel good enough. And he bases a lot of the relationships on money, what the relationship looks like, outside things. So even though that he had a very strong connection with you, Pisces, there was a lot of wounds there where he didn't like himself. So those were the past life energies. I just wanted to see because like I said, if this is a soulmate, this is somebody that has come in from a past life that hasn't learned the lessons from that past life. So let's see what your wounds are, Pisces. Anyone that's a Pisces, But because you're here, Ishka, let's see. What is yours? Oh, just flew out. Let's see. Card down. All right. Galactic. So you're like a highly sensitive empath intuit that tends to probably get overgive and overdo. Um, listen, it's you will wind up coming back together because he did not learn the lesson in this lifetime, the way that he's acting. Okay, so you're a highly sensitive person. All right, a highly sensitive person, somebody that is like full of love, full of light, someone that's very, very different that they're not used to. And that you may say, well, what does that have to do with? Well, this person, like I said, is all obsessive about money and finances. They have been from the past life. They came in to this life with that. You're their soulmate, twin flame, possibly, but if they're a twin flame, they are definitely not as evolved as you, which they wouldn't be. Evolved soul, but this nevertheless is a past life connection. But we can see when we have two people that are on different vibrations. However, what the good news is, your person's going through a dark night of the soul, which means that there's been tower moments in his life. There's been tower moments within their life. Now, Pisces, if you're here for your girl and not a guy, you need to take the energy as the best resonates for you. But we know for Ishka, for here, it is again that they are in a dark night of the soul, and understand the contrast between you and them are very, very different. Galactic energy, and and someone that's very into their finances, okay, well, then we know that they have a root chakra. You both may have a root chakra imbalance. However, he's more of survival and finances, where you're more of not as present as you should be, probably not caring at all about money. So that's why, except to survive, obviously. And so the drasticness of who you are and who they are is a lot of times what soulmate twin flames are. Because understand, spirit brings soulmate twin flames into each other's life to teach each other. First of all, to teach about unconditional love, because you can't walk away. You want to walk away, but you can't walk away. Well, and that's right. You don't care. So as simple as work. So you're not going to think the same way. However, the way that you think is not balanced, and the way that this person thinks is not balanced. This person's so obsessive about money. You don't really care about money at all. And so spirit says it's the balance. Twin flame soulmates, they think differently. And they are so drastically different, because what really the lesson is that we can't control love. Like, we may say we have a type, but we can't help who we fall in love with. And when we get angry, even when the person acts like an ass, because this shows that they did, well, then over time, how they acted, like, we see like we're not as angry anymore, and they're not as angry anymore. There's not the need to control. So and I know that because the person's in a dark night of the soul, and they wouldn't be there if you didn't walk away, if they didn't hurt, which is a good thing. But I want to look at the wounds, and then I want to see what, obviously, we're going to look and see what they're going to do and what their hidden truths are. But I always like to look at the spiritual energies first to understand the person. What are we dealing with? Is a person so toxic because of everything that they've gone through in their life? And like, what are we dealing with? This is why I like to look at this energy. And also, it's a psychic soul healer channel. So we always look at the wounds, because the wounds teach us about ourselves. Once we integrate them, we get to see a different outcome, because there's many different realities that play out at one time. So, meaning if you go left, you're going to get a different a whole other different experience than if you go right. You would meet different people, your experience would be different. Well, that's those are two different realities. Well, there's multiple realities happening at one time. So when it's a twin flame soulmate relationship, it means it could work, but it means that you have to do something if you want this person differently than what you've done before. Because again, that energy, spiritual energy, it's not about like, it's not about connection. This proves it. You know, it's about ego and control and how everyone perceives that things should be. So this is where, like, again, you wind up in a power struggle. And it's also because two people think completely different. So we look at the wounds and say out of tune. So this person, it kind of feels like an out, like a little bit of an outsider. They don't really feel as if they fit in. And that could be also your energy sometimes. I'm feeling like that's very common for highly sensitive people. Now, this person is a sensitive, they're just very left-brained, opposed to you that's very right-brained sensitive. So that's out of tune. And then there's search. I feel like you should, when this person was with you, or again, that connection, it kind of scared them. So you never really felt like they gave you 100%. And that they were always looking for something better, or like always in search. And I feel like you were always in search to see when they were going to step it up to the plate. Like, oh, they always kind of kept you waiting. And that's, again, something that you would give them more. Again, it's when a person doesn't feel good about themselves and they feel out of tune, well, they definitely hold back because they're insecure. But then that makes you unconsciously give more a lot of times until you got fed up. But we look for the wounds, like, and that could be also a reoccurring pattern in your life where you're like, I have people that they don't really show up in my life. I know that they care about me, but they don't show me the way that I need for them to show me, because I wind up with people that don't feel that good about themselves. And then this is like maybe martyr, like this person, like it doesn't, like, will sacrifice for other people, but not so much themselves. So like family wise. So I'm kind of feeling like they don't really want you to get that close because they don't want you to see themselves. And also, when they're a highly sensitive person, a person that's not emotionally intelligent will wind up giving more than they really want to their relationships. Because when we are an empath or sensitive, we can feel what the other person wants. And if we love that person and we let them in our life, then of course we're going to want to give. But this person has a bad history of relationships. You have a bad history of relationships. So there's a lot of mirroring energy going on here. Like, you're like, didn't want to give. I don't want to give you. You need to, like, prove to me. Yes, we can ask about that. And we could also ask, but we're asking about the cards that are pretty much showing up right now. And we can see then how this past relationship would influence this relationship. Because even though it's a different person, the wounds could be the same, So we got a good vibe of already the past person. Let's look at the hidden truths between the current God. You and I were too young. So did you know this person prior? I know I was a distraction from your pain. I actually feel like this is still the past person that's coming up. And that happens sometimes when you walk away. See, so I'm kind of feeling like this is still the energy of the past person, which happens sometimes. Like I said, just because just because, again, that's the energy that's still in the forefront. That's a person that might be attached to you more than this new person. And if you've walked away from this person for a while, it wouldn't be uncommon because, you know, usually when you're about to date someone new, that's when the old one comes back. It's just what happens. And you're like, no, 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 I don't want you back now. It's like, because now I have a chance with someone else. However, this is why I said you have to make sure that you don't karmically bring in the same wounds from that past relationship into this relationship, especially if you're not cleared from it and this person traumatized you. That would be another reason why this energy would be showing up. And that's for anybody. We all bring in energies, but let's just see. I'm going to use just the Weight and Rider deck because I want to see, what, if I have to say, what does the new guy feel? What does the new guy feel opposed to your old guy? And that this is, again, going to be for anyone that resonates with the message, but it was intended for Pisces. But like I said, there are no mistakes. If you wind up here, you were meant to hear the message. So what does the new guy feel opposed to the old? Okay, ooh, I like this a lot better. Knight of Swords. So the thing is with knights, they're all about passion and they're fiery. So this person's really attracted to you is what I'm feeling. And yeah, Ace of Wands, and they are going to take action, if you were wondering. And then we got the Star. So they see potential. Now, the Star, obviously, you haven't dated this person or anything. So you were asking me, what does the new guy think about me? Again, there's a lot of passion. There's a lot of chemistry. This is kind of like what needs to happen, obviously, in relationships. If we're not attracted to the person, we wouldn't go to them, and vice versa. They wouldn't stick around. So now it's up to the way you play it. Because the next question would be, well, is it going to work out? Is it going to work out? Because look, the person's coming to me. I can feel that it's a spiritual connection. I can feel that there's a lot of passion here, and that there's and that it could be good. I mean, the Star is one of the best cards in the deck, right? I mean, come on. It's like opportunities, it's optimism, like everyone's like excited. So, but that's not the problem. The problem is usually karmic. It's usually that things play out in a way. Okay, the Fool. So it's, again, trust. So it's, again, going to be the beginning of a relationship. And this is good eventually. So again, I feel like your mind is in a good place and this person's mind is in a good place. With obviously it would be. Okay, Temperance, again, another positive card. So it's going to be an equal give and take reciprocity relationship, but you're still going to need to teach this person, I'm feeling, because the issue is usually, again, this now leadership, as you can see, it was reversed, and that's the King of Wands, which is somebody that normally takes action. So if I have to say, what would be your blocks? Because we have a great opportunity here, but that's not the issue. The issue is it could turn into karmically, and we already know you've had relationships that were karmic because that's what came out in the card reading prior about the last relationship that was still bleeding into the new relationship. And so it would be that you wouldn't take action, that you wouldn't ask for what you need. A lot of times in relationship, people, they don't want to, they just want to be liked. They want to be easy. They want to just go with the flow. However, this would be bad in a way if you don't express what you need, because you have to set boundaries. This is the energy that I'm feeling. Okay, Two of Cups. So again, so if you don't do it, then there would be a sense that it didn't work out, that it doesn't work out because of that. I'm sorry if you didn't like that, but it's what it is. It's like, name is I is Zane, but the truth of the matter is, it's like all spiritual relationships, they continue to play out. See, it does make sense. That's what I'm saying. It's like, because it's not like there isn't potential. There is a lot of potential. And I'm glad that you say that it makes sense, because I was like, I'm feeling like you're not agreeing with me. Um, but only because it looked like you dropped off for a second. And so, but the truth of the matter is, it's like there's potential, but it's like you'd have to set a boundaries. You have to like direct reader. You have to kind of take the leadership. If you want the relationship to work out the way that you want it to work out, and that would not be by bullying the person either, or by saying you need to do this. It would be with you being like busy a lot in your own life with other passions. And that doesn't mean other people, it means other passions. Because when you are training a person how to treat you, it's you have to show them how you're treating yourself. And that's something that you haven't done. So this is the karmic lesson. And this is what we're focusing on, is not the fact that Pisces, that you can't get a person like, or a person that you like, or that you're attracted to, think that you're attracted to. The cards were clear. The issue is that when it plays out, it doesn't play out the way that you want it to play out. And that is what spirit is saying. And that's because you're insecure to say something. But no, if that person came to you to begin with, they are already interested in you. Will they give you a little bit of a hard time in your boundaries? Of course, but it doesn't matter. Love is love. And when we like somebody, it's, we have to do it, but you have to like teach a person right in the beginning of the relationship, and you never do. That's what the cards were saying. They were saying you don't do that. You wait till you get comfortable, and then you try and and then say something, but by then it's too late. And that's what spirit was saying. Like, it's not a question that it can't happen again. Yeah, look, satisfaction if you do. Now, spirit has no time. So even though you're like, is it like this person? Now you're asking me about this person. But if someone else comes into your life tomorrow, I want you to know, like, the cards cannot tell the difference between whether it's this person or another person. I don't know if you've ever gotten a reading where energies kind of change, like can't tell. Now I want to look at the hidden truths. Now let's look at the hidden truths. Just being near you is intoxicating. Finding out the truth crushed me. So it's, again, I'm kind of feeling like this person has a lot of pain from past relationships that they may be bringing into this relationship. I left when I saw you with someone. So it's, again, I'm kind of feeling like the energy, I know it was a distraction from your pain. So there's still this energy that is crossing over from, again, a past relationship. And this is bad, because when a person isn't fully healed, they wind up coming into a relationship and they bleed all over the relationship, the new relationship. So again, you have to make sure that you're not going to be a distraction from this person's pain. You need to make sure that, they're not paranoid. So like I said, because there is potential here, but everything is karmic, meaning learn. But it showed that there was going to be a lot of satisfaction in this relationship. So I'm really feeling like it was more of a past relationship. Breathe. I felt suffocated by how tightly you were holding on. So this person has issues in the fact that every time they get into a relationship, it's a very codependent relationship. So you have to, again, do what I was saying. You want to make sure that the relationship is balanced. And that is by having a love affair with yourself while you're dating this person so that they see how they need to treat you, because they always feel suffocated. They always wind up in a codependent relationship. And again, dominate. So where, people tend to come in and act nice, but then kind of take over their life. And what did I say? I said, every single karmic lesson that we don't learn in a past relationship, we bring into the new relationship. So what this is saying is that you would still attract somebody that has a little bit of commitment issues due to a past relationship, that they're wounded. However, you would play this relationship differently, because that's how you get to integrate the spiritual lesson. We get to integrate the spiritual lesson through seeing a different outcome of the same karmic theme. So you wound up with someone that didn't give you a lot, had one foot in, one foot out. They do have feelings for you. They still have feelings for you to this day, even though you walked away. Even though you walked away, they still have feelings. However, they're prideful. They have a big ego. They're not going to do anything about it. That's what you know. And so you meet this new person, and this new person has similar wounds, and you obviously have similar wounds, because even if you learn the lesson, you didn't integrate it. You only integrated through dating someone else and doing something differently, because the same karmic theme will play out, where this person now is coming in wounded, coming in broken. This is not anything new with anyone that's dating anyone, because millions of people have commitment issues. So you can say, well, how do I get around that? Well, love is the energy that's a universal panacea. It's a magic pill. It heals everything. However, karma means depending on what you do. So as we said, like, this has the opportunity to work out. Now, whether this is going to be this relationship, what you're talking about with this guy, or whether it's a new person that's coming in that we don't see again, like as you're talking about this person, because sometimes that happens. It's the irony of it. However, the same karmic theme would play out. And we want to see, again, past. I had a hard time letting go of the past. Didn't I just say this? Didn't I just say this? I just said this. I had a hard time letting go of the past and the fears associated with this, so they manifest in chaos in my relationships. So that's what I'm saying. So this person, you're getting people that have wounds, and it's not because, oh, well, I'm broken or I'm not. It's about you loving yourself enough to not always cave into what the person wants. Now let's see, what are they going to do? Let's get to the good shit. It's like, because now we know about the wounds, which is very important, because it's like I said, when this person comes into your life, you know already what you do. And why I tell you this. I tell you this because healing doesn't feel good. It means that you have to do something that's not going to feel right, especially if you're a giver, especially if you want to nurture. Someone's coming to you broken, and they, have a lot of fear about their relationships. You would automatically want to nurture this person, reassure this person, go out of your way. What Spirit is saying, don't. Because if they like you, they'll figure it out. They'll have to step it up. If you pamper this person because, again, of their past, and you don't give more energy to yourself, then you won't teach this person how you want to be treated. You kind of become another good friend that doesn't get treated well. And that's what Spirit says is the karmic theme. Okay, so losing you is my biggest regret. I feel totally lost. I feel like this is this person. Don't be surprised if your ex comes back. while you meet this person. And I know you're like, I don't want that, but it's unfortunate, but it's always, that's a karmic test too. And not really, and it's also partially, if this person didn't treat you right, it's a way that you hand this person their karma, that you've been walking around with the pain and the hurt from how they treated you. And so understand them coming back and you saying no and you being with someone else is actually their karma. People always say, oh, that person never eats their karma. I always have the karmic consequences. But the truth of the matter is, I know you don't want anyone from the past, but Spirit says this isn't about that. This is about they didn't treat you right, and it's karmic justice. It's karmic justice. It's not so much, and it's so it frees you up so that you're free to be like, you know what, you were in regret. You learned, and I'm appreciative of it, though I don't want to be with you. But all the pain that I carried around, all the hurt, now here it is. Here it is. I'm giving it back to you. Now you get to hold it while I go off. And that's what Spirit says. It's karmic justice. And so, yes, you may say, well, how does that help me? Well, it makes you, again, a clear, it's something that you don't need per se, but it's something that, like I said, it's a way that you take the burden of what they've done to you and how they treated you and give it back. It's spiritual law. It's not even, the benefit of you because you're like, I don't really care. Is but Spirit says, I care because the person still needs to evolve. They still need to evolve into a higher state of consciousness. How they treated you was poorly. How they treat themselves is poorly. So they had to lose something in order to learn. They had to feel the pain in order to learn. And that's what the Spirit is saying that you may not think that it's valuable, but it's valuable. And you may say, I didn't even need to know that. Well, Spirit says, well, maybe later on when you get into a relationship and the person isn't treating you nicely, then you won't be afraid to set boundaries because you know that people will regret it. But sometimes that's as simple as that. It's like I was treated badly and didn't really feel like there was any justice. I want to show you who I really am. I'm ready to bring down my walls and share my true feelings. So I feel like with this new guy, um, I do feel like they want to start a new thing. Whatever pain that they have, they're not coming in as broken as the last person. So, and they're going to want to still, show you who they are. My childhood was difficult and it still affects me sometimes. I was let down by the people that I loved and trusted. So you're still going to get somebody that has wounds. So remember, it's the way that you deal with those wounds. But does it show that this person has the right intention? Yes. Does it show that they have feelings? Yes. Does it show that there's a connection? Yes, on both parties. However, they still have wounds. You still have wounds. They still would play out a certain way. And that's why you were told when they come in how to handle the relationship because it's not, do they like you? It's, will the relationship stand like the test of time? Can it go past that, that attraction? Can it be like a committed relationship? And Spirit says, well, every relationship is karmic. And if she hasn't learned the lesson, and that's why I said you needed it. But what does the universe, let's just close out and see, what does the universe want us to say, how to deal with this? Let's just see, prosperity lies ahead. So it's saying that again, the relationship is, I would say if that's related to the relationship, is that it's going to be fulfilling. A fulfilling relationship is going to come to pass. Hold your vision. So Spirit says again, don't focus on what you don't want, focus on what you do want, and then match your energy, meaning the vision is I want this person so I know not to be codependent because this person still has wounds, again, from their childhood. And I'm also getting someone that has wounds that are similar to my ex's, though it's again because I need to learn those karmic lessons. And the karmic lesson already is don't again mesh too much into this person's energy. Make it show this person how I want to be treated through how I treat myself. Don't give them the whole pizza pie. If you're the pizza pie, you don't want to give them all of you. You only give them one slice and you make that person pine, and that's going to make you feel uncomfortable. It's going to make this person feel uncomfortable too, because in the beginning everyone wants to, what they want, but the truth of the matter is the relationship goes too fast all the time and it fizzles out. And you say they start off nice and then they're not nice, and that's the reason why, because they're wounded. And so hold your vision, but then make sure that those actions are in alignment with those visions to get. And then it's time to take action. So I'm feeling like this person is going to take action really soon. And I think that also means that you should take action. Like it's when this person comes to you, you should be open with your feelings and emotions, especially because I'm feeling like that's not that easy for you to do because you've gotten hurt in the past. So if I had to say what does that mean for you? Because it's showing that this person's going to take action, but you have to make them feel comfortable because remember, they're insecure. Um, what was that? Definitely don't want anyone. No, this is not about getting someone from the past to come back. This is about karmic justice for you because it kind of clears up your energy. When someone treats you badly and they don't really feel sorry for it and they don't, it still affects you. That's the only reason why. And it's also because spirit says, well, I bring soulmates into each other's life to learn. And if this person didn't come back and try, they would never eat the karma. And spirit says that's not 100% for your benefit. That's for mine because we're down here in physical form to learn and to manifest. And learning is that we're not separate from God, which is unconditional love. And so if we're constantly, being bitter and playing games and doing things that are malicious and mean and so much turmoil, that is not love. That's not unconditional love, that you're being manipulative to get me to do something. That's strategizing. You're coming from the ego and not from the heart. And because you did, you lost me. And now you get to eat the karma because you didn't really think I was going to move on. You didn't think that I would find someone better. You didn't think that I would replace you. That's why Spirit's saying, no, this person still needs to, eat their karma. And that does, it lifts your energy somehow. And not like, oh yeah, but it's glad that you learned and that you realized that it was never me. And I'm kind of a little bit glad that you're regretful because guess what? I left you in better state because I walked away than how I met you. So for the next person, you're going to be better. And that's why spirit does that. It's not 100% for your benefit. However, I feel like it will because this person didn't treat you well. And what else does the universe say? And these are energy cards. They're so big. The voice of the heart. I silence the fear in me and discover the voice of my heart. The fruit of these words guides me. I trust the song of my soul. My intuition leads me on the path of the light. So it's again, keep on, you already are someone that taps into your intuition and does lead by your heart. But it's, again, don't let the past jade you. Don't let what happened with that person. And that is why spirit is saying, again, that is why your ex comes back and says whatever they say, not because you're supposed to take them back, but because it's almost like you're handing them the shit bag per se. Like they kind of shit on your porch and left it there. And you've been sitting here however long with it. And part of them coming back is for you to pick up that shit, hand it back and say, now it's on you. And now you're clear to move forward. And so that you can then listen to your heart and not not the fear, not the ego. Yes, good meeting you. You'll have to let me know how it goes. It's very exciting, and that was for um any Pisces. All right. Well, thank you again for watching, and if you resonated with this, give me a like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and definitely write the word the dark night of the soul. See, sometimes we don't want to know about our past, like our past person, you know? But meanwhile, it's like that past person comes into our energy. And like I said, not all the time are they coming back to, for you to be with them, for you to forgive them. It's like you forgive them. You always should forgive because you're the one that, but forgive them while you take them back. I'm saying it's a lot of times it's so that they learn their lesson, especially when someone takes so long to do the right thing. So just wanted to put that out there again. All right. I'll talk to you guys all soon. Bye.